Hello everyone, Uranten here with the final Soca Mass 54 video, but not the final St. Kitts video of the year. I have one more that I'm going to be doing after this. Today's video is going to be a constructive criticism video of Soca Mass 54. It is going to be one where I focus on the negative aspects and I give suggestions on how to improve them. Whether these are things that I personally find negative or people in general find negative. Just laying that out there. Nice and quick, bright and early, constructive criticism. It is about improvement. Laying that out early. Okay? Because I love the Carnival. I love Soca Mass. I love a lot of things about the Carnival. It is my favorite time of the year. I pretty much listen to our music 24/7, so yeah, I'm just trying to level set real quick. So today I'll be focusing only on events that the Carnival Committee itself holds. I'll be focusing on the ones that I actually care about. That means I'll mainly be focusing on street activities and the Soca Monarch. So, without further ado, let's get started on this constructive criticism video for Soca Mass 54 and for Soca Mass in general. We'll be starting with the Soca Monarch. The Soca Monarch is one of my favorite events for Soca Mass. It is very fun. It is very affordable. It is a way for us to showcase some of our talent and some of the best songs for the season, some of the best performances for the season, and it's going to be a way to show off a lot of our talent to people who are coming into the island, people who are already on the island, people who may not even be exposed to these kind of things. I feel like it's a very good thing for people to go to, and unfortunately, I think it happens too early. The main issue I have with Soca Monarch happening as early as it is that a lot of the returning nationals will not get a chance to see it. Now, we have to look at this from a very specific perspective. Because if you're not looking at it from a very specific perspective, you're going to miss the point that I'm trying to make here. And a lot of people, returning nationals, visitors, a lot of people who go to travel for carnivals and such, if they're coming and they're trying to get the whole experience, and by the whole experience I mean they're coming in to get some of the fetes, Juve, Parade, last time they're trying to get all of that, the weekend that they're going to be coming in, especially for, I'm going to use last carnival as an example, the weekend of the 20th and 21st. They're going to be coming in on the 20th or the 21st. That's where you're going to get the biggest influx of visitors for the season. There's going to be more coming in after Christmas and such. And for the whole week, you're going to see them like Monday, Tuesday, such. But a lot of people are going to wait till weekends specifically to come in. I think legitimately that Soca Monarch happens too early and should be happening the exact same week as Juve, but it should not be right before Juve. Here's what I'm trying to say. The sweet spot for it, Juve is the 26th. It's almost always the 26th. The sweet spot for it would be between the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. 22nd being the ideal day, if I'm being completely honest. Sometimes the 21st would be the ideal day. It depends. But you want it to basically land within that same week of Juve. Not a full week before Juve, but the same week as Juve. Because by that time, a lot of the people who are coming in for it are already there. You have more people who are interested in going to Soca Monarch. It just makes a lot of sense. And the other criticism I have, because again, I wanted to go to Soca Monarch, but obviously I couldn't. I didn't reach in time. I reached just a little bit after, and I was a little disappointed. But it is what it is. I can't help it. I have a job. We have jobs. People have to work out their PTOs to figure out how things are going to work. And sometimes we're traveling with multiple family members, so we have to figure out all of our PTOs and all the other stuff of how it works. So yeah, it's not easy at all to reach and stay for a full 2 weeks, and 2 weeks is like the extent of it. Like that 14 days is like the extent of it. I think I stayed for like 16 days in total, and I got very lucky with the way I basically plotted it out. It's like 15 days basically I stayed, and I still wasn't able to really experience that Soca Monarch. So yeah. And then the other one I want to say is that Soca Monarch should not be competing with any private fetes. Note, private events can still happen. It's private fetes that are the issue. We want people to be coming to our island, and I want it to be focused on our talent and what our talent has to offer. We should have that day specifically so that people come and be like, oh my god, our talent, look at our talent, look at how great they are, and that's what Soca Monarch can be. And I feel like it's a great way to show off a lot of them. Obviously, Bacchanal District is going to compete, that's fine. That is a carnival event, I don't really care that much beyond that. However, I don't feel like it is fair for all these people to go up on stage, have basically not that many people showing up, and then have the big event like a Bouillon Invasion come in, all these foreign people coming in, and then you have almost all the big bands on the stage as well. No one's going to go to Soca Monarch like that. Soca Monarch is going to be one of the least attended stuff. Some people are going to go to Soca Monarch and then go there. Yeah, but it's going to be one of those things where you're not going to get as much people going as you should, and I feel like we should not have it competing against things. So, to recap, for Soca Monarch, my criticisms are very simple. I think it happens too early, and I don't think that it should be competing against private events, specifically private fetes. I think that the Carnival Committee should make it very clear which day finals is going to be, and they should also make it very clear that whoever is, dealing with it or whatnot, yeah, I think they should make it very clear that you shouldn't be having private events on that same day, specifically private fetes. Alright, and that's going to do it for Soca Monarch. We're now going to move on to Juve, where I have a pretty decent amount of things to say. Okay, Juve. And for this one, I want to make things very clear. There's a lot of criticisms here. Not too much, but there's a lot. But before we even get into that, let's state the obvious. We have the best Juve in the world, and nobody could convince me otherwise. Alright? Not one soul could tell me that nobody Juve better than ours. We got the best one. Easily. Alright? Let's just stop right there. We got the best Juve. But because we have the best, doesn't mean it can't be improved. And we've had some things that have hurt our Juve in recent times and even not recent times. So I want to take my time and go through what I feel is hurting our Juve and ways I feel it can be improved. And the very first thing I will say is that our Juve route is perfectly fine. It's a logistic issue that's happening. The Juve route is perfectly fine. There is congestion at the bottom of 4th Street, which, by the way, coming up by the circus there, oh my god, that street is awful, y'all. Fix that. Mr. What is that? Supervisor of Public Works? Hey, that road, the bottom of 4th Street, please. Holy. Jamming up there was the worst. Hated it. Like, once you reach past the circus, it's fine. But before, oh my god. My feet hurt. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get into the actual thing. Like, the route is fine. Again, it's a logistic issue. The bottom of 4th Street, you have this bottleneck coming off the Bear Road. It is very easy to fix that. And the issue you're running into is twofold. The first issue is that our road match criteria is garbage. That's the first issue. The fact that you have people performing for pretty much 8 to 10 minutes near the top of the road, not moving as they perform whatever, is problematic. Very, very problematic. Okay? It's not a good thing to have these bands stuck there for 10 minutes. I need you to understand how logistically bad this is, and I'm going to try to remember off the top of my head all of the people that were performing for Road Match this year. You had New Vibes, Grandmasters, Collision, Small Axe, Upset Squad, Excess Band. You had Barry C. I feel like I'm forgetting ASAP Band. I'm forgetting the people that were supposed to win. Oh my goodness. That's funny. So I just want to point out, I saw 8 entities I just listed off, right? 8 different entities. That is 80 minutes max. And some people might go over. Some people might go over that limit anyway. But that's 80 minutes of where you have basically stalling happening, where there's basically no movement coming off of 4th Street. What do you think is going to happen? Of course there's going to be a bottleneck. Now everyone's going to be like, oh, I'm trying to get up 4th Street and I'm trying to get up 4th Street. And you just got this long line on both sides, whether you're on the Spear side or whether you're on the Church Street side. That's all that's going to happen. It's going to cause a bottleneck. So, my first solution, change the road match criteria to an actual road match criteria where all you have to do is pass by the judging point playing your song. No need for performance or any of that stuff. Let the people in front of the bands who are enjoying themselves do whatever performance that they want, or the people behind the band do whatever performance they want for their Juve troops and whatnot. Okay? Very plain, very simple. Let's just, okay? Let's let it happen, please. That's all I'm saying. Let it happen. On top of that, I think Juve should. I think the road match should also go back to being judged on both Juve and Parade Day for multitude of reasons I'll get into in a bit. But that is the first of the 2 solutions I have for this one, and they both work together, because if you have this whole, it's gonna now free flow a bit more, and it's basically gonna be a steady street jam now because there's no bottlenecking happening, no bottleneck cause happening near the top. Next, you need to move on to the other issue that causes bottlenecking, or where the actual bottlenecking occurs. You need somebody, a marshal, somebody who's going to be down there, who's going to be telling the bands, whether they're on a nice little vantage point, to be like, hey, you reach first, you come now, you reach first, you come now, and it goes from left side to right side, to left side to right side, to left side to right side, as people pass it, and you just make it go flow. All right, that one done, stop, you come up, go, stop, go. Basically, you need a traffic director at the bottom to help direct it. That would help so much with the whole blockade, because half of the time you hear people saying, oh, we got to force way up. We got to force way up 4th Street. That's way ain't up 4th Street. We got to force way through. Push through. Force through. And if everyone's doing that, then one side's going to basically get shafted at some point. So let's do it orderly. Okay? Let's do it orderly. We can't depend on the people that on the way to have order, because I'm telling you straight up, the Barry C truck, it was coming back across the Bay Road. The Master's coming down, what you call it, Square Street, right? The Master's done turning. They done turning. Half the trailer done turn. Why is this truck man trying to force you through? This ain't even like 4th Street, you know, this is Square Street. This is common sense. You wait for the person to finish turning, and then you go, and they force you through. You can't depend on these people to actually make common sense decisions, okay? Because that was one of the stupidest things I ever seen in my life. The man already turning. How you gonna go? How you gonna pass? How you gonna pass the turning, man? Make it sense. Make it make sense. Alright. Anyway, I get heated for no reason. Point is, logical decisions fix logistic issues. Let's do the smart thing. Number 2 issue for Juve, and it's something I have been talking about for so long. I have been saying this since I was in high school. I have been saying this for such a long time. I've been saying this since the first year Red Devils was on the road for Juve. I've been saying this for so goddamn long, and I like the fact that other people are saying it too. The music. The music. Why are we, as Kittitians, and our Kittitian DJs, and obviously got some foreign DJs who was on the island, but why are y'all, and I'm just gonna say this out loud, why are y'all playing so much foreign music in the country on the road for Juve and Parade Day and Last Lap? It's a big thing where this has been happening for so long. First and foremost, I've been saying this since the first time when Red Devils on the street. I remember I walked down there. I was still in high school back then, and I hear them playing dancehall. I was like, what is this shit? This is shit. And I'm pretty sure it was Hellfire Sounds playing with them dancehall on the street. And I remember the older folks kicked up a storm on the radio that was calling in, saying, oh, this shouldn't be happening. And I was like, yes, They are right. But then we have a bunch of young people. I'm putting young in quotes because all I old let me know. Most are older than me, if I'm being honest. But these young people, oh, no, it's fine. Let's have the dance all on the street. It's fine. It's young people thing, blah, 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 blah. Nope. It's we culture. Dancehall ain't got no place in we culture. Dancehall ain't got no place on we road for Carnival. Dancehall has nothing to do with what Sugar Mass is. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it straight up. Unless you put in a nice little St.Kitts rhythm behind your dancehall, no play it. Okay? Unless you got Akoi beat, or Masters beat, or New Vibes beat, or Collision beat, I don't really care. Some kind of SK beat behind that, me no wanna hear it. Okay? That's the one thing. Dancehall is a no. Across the board, straight up no. I remember I saw a poll on the SK Vibes page saying, oh, dancehall, should it be included in the Carnival? And overwhelmingly, I see a bunch of stupid young people voted yes. Why are stupid? Anyway, I get heated again. I'm calming down. I'm bringing it back down. Okay. The other issue with this foreign music. Now, Excess really play a whole hour. Abuyan? A whole hour? I'm gonna make this very, very clear. If we are going to be holding the St.Kitts Nevis National Carnival, here, I'll repeat this again. Sugar Mass, St.Kitts Nevis National Carnival, we should be having St.Kitts Nevis music. Oh my goodness, how difficult is that? And here's the thing. I am going to say this and I'm going to make it very clear. If we are going to be playing foreign music, there has to be a limit on how much you play. A hard limit. Okay? Juve lasts from 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. Okay? It used to start at 4 a.m. but it's starting at 5. Pre-passes don't start at 4, you know, all that stuff there. But we're on the road from 5 to 12. That's 7 hours. Okay? 7 hours. A whole hour is far more than just 5% of the route. And it's not just Bouillon that you're playing. You are playing thing. I remember when I was heading back, I was done. After the whole turning truck incident, 11 o'clock reach, I was like, you know what? I ain't want to push myself too hard. I'm unfit. I have not been doing enough. I need to get myself in shape. And I've been going for a while. I literally went with masters for pretty much the whole time. I'm done. I'ma leave. Me and my wife, we gonna leave. It's too hot. It's too much happening. Let's get out of here. So we walk past Excess on the way back up, go meet up with family. Why are they playing Trinidadian soca on the road? And almost every time we pass by Excess, we not hear nothing local for real, you know. So I'm sitting here again. They already play a whole hour Bouillon, and we winding down, and they're playing Trini soca now. Oh my God, oh my goodness, what is this shit? What is this shit? What is this shit? Again, I will say this once, I will say this twice, I'll say this shit don't belong. This shit does not belong on the road. Okay? At most, I am fine with foreign soca being played at a hard cap at 5% of the time. Hard cap. Okay? So if you got however many hours, if you got 5 hours at jamming time, what'd it be, like 30 minutes maybe? Something like that? If even that much? Maybe it's 20 minutes even yet. I don't know. But point is, I shouldn't be hearing that shit. I heard it on parade day too. And I heard it on last lap too. For extended periods of time. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend with nobody, okay? This year, we need to take back control. That girl sound put out a nice big message. I can put it up on screen. Y'all should read this. Take the time, pause the video and read it, because she's correct. And some of her suggestions are on point. Okay? So let's not act stupid. Okay? Let's not be letting this foreign music come in and take over, because we ain't gonna be hearing it out here. As someone who lives out in the cool and outside, we don't get St.Kitts music play often, even when I go out, which is fairly rare in general. But when I go out and I go to strictly soca stuff and such, I don't hear We Island. And if I hear We Island, all I hear is Brockett Set It. Okay? You got to go look for specific DJs like DJ 62 to actually get any St.Kitts music. Otherwise, you're not getting on. And I'm being frank and I'm being honest when I say this. Okay? So, we need to do better. We need to do better. And I think I'm going to sneak this one here in right here. I think that the announcements for the road match winners and the Juve activities also happens too early. I think we should be putting them all on last lap like we used to do it, because it builds anticipation, it builds excitement, and I'm going to say this outright. Announcing the road match winner, especially with a shitty road match material like the one we have, sucks momentum out of the people who actually put in the work, had their song go viral, had their song be the most popular ones played on the road. It sucks momentum out of it. Like, Drop It still played a lot post Juve, but it wasn't playing as much as it should have, honestly. And a lot of the reason why it wasn't playing as much came from the fact that people started to try to force Homecoming to play more. And even then, I didn't hear that song play much, which is thank God for my ears. But, yeah, I'm just saying it outright, being honest. Put them later on because it does influence. I saw it happen same way where Keys to the City won and the time after Keys City was not playing at all going around, and then Parade Day decided to try to play Keys City more because it won road match, even though that song was kind of not that good at all. So I'm just trying to be honest with that stuff. Like, put it on last up with the rest of it so that we could, make it make sense. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about for Juve. There might be more. I'm still thinking, but I have my points. I went over my points. I feel like I should have had a third point for Juve that I just could not remember before my recording time came, but I already spoke about Juve for like 15 minutes, so I think we are good here. So we're gonna move into Junior Parade and Parade Day. I want to kind of just bunch them together because a lot of the things that I want to talk about kind of apply to both to some degree. So yeah, we'll be moving on to that next, and that's probably going to be like the last section that I do, because afterwards, I know y'all love when I talk about my road match and love to get mad at me and such, but I do have to say not a lot about it, but I want to talk about it at the end of the video. Leave that for the end. So if you want to know about that and you want to come with your bragging with your nasty song and all that shit, wait till the end. Don't worry. I have a nice section where I'm going to be highlighting all the fun stuff just for you. With that, let's get into Parade. Okay, Parade Day. Let's get into this. We have a bit to talk about, so I want to pretty much get into it. We're going to talk about Parade Day and Junior Parade. The first thing I want to say when it comes to it comes about the parade. In the ye old days, I remember when they had a lot of mass camps, a lot more mass camps, right? Before Ultra and Lux come in and basically became so big that everyone else can't really compete. Before that, right? There was a rule that was implemented, because the parade always used to be late, because as you know, it's New Year's Day, all I want to go out and drink and party and whatnot, your all night parties, your New Year's party, whatever, right? All that did happen in balls and all this stuff. So everybody go out, they drink, and then they wake up and they're late and they got to get ready and they got to get their makeup and they got to get their nails, they got to do all that. Yeah, I get it. It takes a while to get ready. Parade starts at 11. I ain't gonna be ready in time, half the time. But you know what? I have a nice solution for that. That's how I love to be late, right? But I like to see I win. I love to see I win. And this is something that was implemented before. We used to penalize people for lateness. And we used to reward people for earliness. So here is my nice, very simple suggestion. You have a nice little range, right? Every mass camp has their numbers. You know their numbers. You know how much people are supposed to be on the road jamming with each mass camp. That's how you know who gets whatever rewards and all that other stuff, right? Cool. Perfect. Awesome. Guess what? Since we know those numbers, we know those percentages, we know all these things go down. Guess what that means? We can wait to see how many members of Lux, how many members of Ultra, how many members of Novali, how many members of Zeus have reached, and you can calculate a nice percentage to see how many of them reach before start time. And once you get that done and calculated, you know who's gonna get points deducted based off of how little people are there or how many people actually made it up. That would encourage you so that by the time people are watching when it first passed across the pasture, it doesn't look like a scattered mess with scanty looking troops. Because it was less people. It was very obviously less people. However, even though it was less people, it was also blatantly clear that people were missing. I will say something I can't remember fully, but there was a member, I don't remember where he is, I think he was in Ultra, and he said, oh yeah, oh, this is when we reach on the pasture when everything passes, and we reach right when everything first reaching down, because we listen and we could hear when it's time to move. So, oh, okay, time to move, we reach down there, we see the front of the parade, everything, we passing by on the pasture, this man here saying, should I reach down here for 1 o'clock, blah 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 blah, like, full costume, everything. I was gonna come down here for 1, but blah 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 blah. Come down here for 1? For 1? This parade starts 11 and you're saying you're reaching out for, but hey, don't piss me off. Bye. If the parade's at 11, you reach down before 11, okay? You're supposed to be there, getting yourself lined up and ready, but no, not at all, so you're on there reach. So you just see a bunch of people flooding in, walking up, all kind of thing. It's like, hey, this is not organized. And I can't blame the committee because the committee say, hey, we say at 11, we leave in 11, and if you're not here, we're going to leave you, and they're right. They're absolutely right to be doing that. So my thing is, let's get some incentive in there. Some good incentive. If you're late, if most of your people are late, if by the time it's time to ship off and you got at least 70% of your people, you're losing points. If you got 80% of your people, you're losing points. And if you're nice and you're great and you're wonderful and you got 90, 95, 100%, however much, if you got above 90%, you get rewarded some bonus points. Some nice bonus points. I'm sure Ultra are gonna love getting deducted and love getting extra points, eh? They don't win every year. I'm sure they would love to be early. I'm sure the loyal revelers gonna reach early. I'm sure they see them love to reach early for every second. They'd love to reach early too. So hey, let's fix this. Let's get this going. It's not that hard, okay? Be early, be on time. That's my first thing. That's the first thing I want, because that year was disappointing watching them pass. That reminded me of when I used to live on the island and the parade used to be kind of scanty. Y'all can't be doing this now. It's 2025, 2026. Craziness, baby. Alright, next. Back in the old time days, the children's carnival or the junior carnival used to come out, I think it was like December 31st used to be. And you go out and you go around town and it was great, you had fun, blah blah blah. In some instances you used to have like EK going and EK jamming with big people after the children's parade because there was a lot of street jams. And obviously they don't do that anymore, which is perfectly fine. I have no issue with that. The issue I have is that I personally used to enjoy that when the grand parade coming down, you got all your folklore and all the other stuff, all of that great things, right? And then you got the junior parade used to come down again after, before the grand parade. So you used to have a nice long parade in the sense of you have all the folklore in front, and you got the junior parade, and then you got the big people then. I miss that. I feel like the children's carnival being in front of the old carnival, in front of the main parade, it would have been really nice. I feel like be in front of the grand parade would be really good. I feel like we could do it again. They don't have to go all the way, they could bow out at whatever point, but I feel like they could be all the way. And speaking on children, oh my goodness, children. Y'all, what are the age limits on joining a troop again? What the age limit be? 16? 17, 18? What the age limit be? I feel like it should be like at least 18, and you know, at least 18, right? So I got a nice question for y'all. So I see one of my little cousin them in the troop, in the clown troop. One of my little cousins. I don't know your little cousin because he's 12. Little cousin, right? In clown troop. So my question is, so you gotta be a specific age to be a part of the grand troop, right? Why are these children as clowns on the road for parade and last time? These little children. What are these kids doing on the road? I need age limits on these clowns for parade and last lap. And if you're gonna be on the road, them ages here, as a child, them ages on the road, right? You supposed to be with the children parade. Children's parade, junior parade ain't supposed to be looking as skanky as you look. Because half of our children in our clown suit who are gonna jump up there in collision should be jumping up on junior parade there. Okay? If I want a couple of masks, why I don't go in there? Why don't you have a nice little clown section for the little kiddies out front there for them? Okay? How about that? How about that? Because I'm sorry, too much children in the band. Too much children in the band. Lily done went off an hour in private events. I don't go off an hour here. Too much children in the band. But you ran when you were young, didn't you used to jam? Yeah. Barely. I started jamming when I was like 15, 16-ish round here. Okay? I was a bit older. We're seeing literal munchkins in there. 12-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds. I'm seeing munchkins in this jam. What is... Go, no, take our children out. Go look for grandma, grandpa, uncle, whoever ain't in the band. Carry them somewhere. Okay? Take them out the band. Me no want to see the 12-year-old in a clown suit jumping up and down. Me no want to see her in here. Get out. Leave. Evacuate the premises. Get out. This craziness. Okay? I need a hard age limit on these clowns. I need a hard age limit on these clowns. I don't think there's anything wrong with young people being able to participate in the culture, but I can tell you straight up, if I see you actually having to pay money or anything like that as a young kid to be a part of this stuff here, and you ain't a part of Junior Carnival Parade at any point in time, you ain't doing that part, me know why you're in the band. Join the Junior Carnival Parade if you want to be part of the Grand Parade. Otherwise, step on the side. Me no want to see no young people in the clowns. Me no want to see no children in the clowns. Okay? I'm gonna make it clear, make it honest, cause this ridiculous now. This actually ridiculous now. I you can't be serious. For real. Children, out. None of in the clown. None of. Fix it. Age limit. Hard age limit on them clowns here. The fact that I seen literal kids, barely reach high school kids. No man, no. Something not right. Something ain't right. So nah. Out. Parade the last time, I don't care when. Out. Okay? Too much. That's all I really want to say when it came to parade day. I know I went off a little bit on the last one, but my god. Again, I already talked about music, I already talked about a lot of stuff. So, next, I'm going to take my time, relax, and I will come back to you with the road march section. And I will say this because I want to make it very clear. I don't have much to say about it at all. I have said what I needed to say multiple times over. I have made video after video after video about the road match criteria, about how it needs to be fixed, about what the issues are, how to go about it, giving multiple suggestions, multiple ways to go about it. I don't want to do that anymore. I feel like I've spoken this topic into the ground. But I don't feel like it's a Uran 10 video if I don't have to go in on the road match whenever something stupid happens. And let me tell you, holy shit, the amount of material I have is insane. So, in the next section of this video, we're going to sit down and we're going to see a lot of stupid shit that people wrote after New Wave's band secured a road match after 20 years. And finally, let's get into the road match section where I basically would do a ranting, but I'm gonna be real with y'all. I don't feel like it because I could go over how the most popular song did not win road match again. But hey, I've done that numerous times. I could go over how a Trinify song that did not deserve it won. But again, I've already gone over that, and it's not like it's the most egregious thing so far. I mean, we had last year with Keys to the City and the Puppy song are all road match winners. So I don't know what else to really say when it comes to that. Instead, this section, instead of going over how, we have a terrible criteria and all this other stuff that I've already spoken about at length, if you want to hear my thoughts on any of those, I have like 3 or 4 videos talking about our history of our road match, getting the criteria right, all this other stuff. I'm not here to do that with this section. With this section, I want to show and prove just how broken St. Kitts and Nevis people's brains are when it comes to the road match competition. Because when I tell you some of the things that have been said in response to New Vibes actually winning have been some of the most asinine takes I have ever seen in my life, and it is very clear that a lot of this has come from the fact that within the last 14 years, only 3 times has the most popular song won road match. People's brains are so broken that they don't understand that road match is a popularity contest. Just look at Exhibit A. Finally, Obi, the judges get it right. No popularity, only substance. What? 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 No popularity? Sir. Road match is the definition of a road match competition is the most popular song played by the judging points. I repeat, the most popular song played by the judging point. If your road match criteria is not about the most popular song, then guess what? Your road match criteria is not a road match criteria. Our criteria that we had for the last couple years has not been a real road match criteria. We have not had a real road match criteria for such a long time that y'all are forgetting what road match is supposed to be about. No performance, none of that. It is about popularity. But oh my god, it gets worse. It gets worse. People are so used to the not the most popular song winning. They're so used to something that is out of left field winning that I have to read this one. This one was a comment left on one of my videos. ASAP have to pay their dues. Got to get snubbed a few times before winning. LOL. Sugar Band had the most popular song the majority of the time and they didn't win since 2005. 20 years shaking my head. So first and foremost, they didn't have the most popular song the majority of the times since 2005. If we're gonna go with plurality, because no one has had it in the majority, plurality is like when Masters had the most popular song from this period of time. It's not a question. From 2005 to 2026, when Masters has had the plurality, the most of the popular songs out of any band in St. Kitts and Nevis. That's not a question. That's not a debate. That's a fact. However, let's go back to the first thing, the part that's actually important. You gotta get snubbed a few times. Our brains are so broken that we hear a song that is popular and we see it run the entire season and we acknowledge that in any other island with a road match competition, this song would be hands down your road match winner easily. But now you gotta get snubbed. You can't win on your first big song. Who said this? Who said this is allowed? This doesn't happen, except it has in the past before. Numerous times. Your first big song sometimes gives you that one road match that leads to you coming out and destroying everybody for a couple of years. It has happened in multiple islands, in multiple places. So I'm sorry, this gotta get snubbed thing is crazy. If I put in the work, my song goes viral, the whole country singing my song, everywhere I got every shit to hear in my song, and somehow I ain't even place for the road match competition, you got to be out of your mind. Craziness that. But as I've stated before, it gets worse. And I want to focus on this one for a little bit because this one, oh my god. This person has had so many bad takes when it comes to our competition, when it comes to our road match competition. I don't even feel like I need to say too much when it comes to this. But let me read this stupid ass comment before I have to say what I have to say about it. It's a competition! The criteria pushes the band to be more creative and produce high quality music! I love it! Let Trinidad do their own thing! How they want! This is waiting! So stupid! Oh my god! So let me tell you something real quick. the road match competition that Trinidad and Tobago and that the literal rest of the Caribbean and even the other countries that hold Caribbean carnivals has been the same criteria. In fact, we had this criteria all the way until 2017. We had 1 year like 2015, 2014 where we didn't have it. That's the same way. But for the most part, we had the criteria, the same one that everybody had. And it worked. It worked until, and I'm going to just straight up blame them, until Small Axe either was big friend with the DJ them or the DJ money, whichever one they do, and decided to win every year undeservedly. Until that happened, which led to the criteria change, we had the same blood clot criteria. The road match criteria is, I repeat, once again, the most popular song that plays on the road by the judging points. This stupidness that the Carnival Committee put out and claim is a road match criteria is not a road match criteria. That's some weird Soca Monarch mashup nonsense. Okay? That is some weird Soca Monarch mashup nonsense. That is not a road match criteria. Stop calling it road match if this is the criteria you're gonna have. Because road match is popularity. And if any most popular song on the road get in the crowd, get it. Get rid of it. Ain't a real criteria. Stop calling it road match. Road match dead. If I keep calling this a road match, because it's ain't a road match. Okay? And then there's one more comment that sweet me. And this one just sweet me because it just encapsulates Nevis fans to a high degree. And they don't even realize how stupid they look half of the time when they're saying shit like this. Finally, the last one. Was never in doubt. If he didn't win, I was him. They would have had to wait till Juve to hear me new songs. Buddy, if you was him, and that's how your brain thinking, that you are entitled to the competition, and if you don't get your entitled ass wish, that you gonna spruce up and be like, well, we don't hear the music, you know? Bitch, that's your job. That's your profession. You're a musician. Your profession is to put up music. You also come out once a year and all of that stuff. You're supposed to be playing music all year round. This is just one thing. Are you daft? And this is I've seen this comment multiple times. I've seen multiple Nevis fans say dumbassery like this. And that's why I said it encapsulates them so perfectly. Because they feel like they're entitled to it. They're not the only ones, mind you. Collision fans are the same way. Collision band are the same way. They're entitled to this competition. Like we put in the blood, the what, the sweat, the tears, so we are entitled to it. Nobody's entitled to it. You have to earn it. You have to earn it. The fact that you walking around saying this dumbass shit is hilarious to me, because I watch Grandmaster's band lose Afrobeat by one singular point. And them man, they come out on the road and them laugh and them joke about it, and then they give the people a good walk up, a good jam when they're done. And then I hearing from Collision every time them they lose everything. Cuss. Newlands was cussing for the longest. Man went on a losing streak where he was supposed to be losing in the first goddamn place, saying, you know me, and the people them say road match out the story, you know me, bet you put pen to paper and write it, but you know you. Nonsense your talk. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to highlight. I didn't want to have to do anything big or thing with this, cause I just wanted to put it out there real quick with this little section. Just how broken St. Kitts people bring me when they come to the road match. Just 4 quick screenshots just to show you how badly off people's brains are broken. I want to circle back around to one screenshot though. The one about Trinidad do the own thing that day, right? That person had a terrible take before. I said I had multiple terrible takes, but the terrible take they had was when the puppy song went. Oh yes, well deserved, well earned. You know this song here. Oh yeah, when I hear it, you know, they had the good lyrics. He had all this thing, blah 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 blah. That song won on the criteria, right? That one criteria that we should have had. It won on a real road match criteria is the last one. And I just want to point out that song winning did so much damage that the Carnival Committee completely and utterly, and the bands, and even the Carnival Committee, the bands turn around and petition the Carnival Committee to change this criteria here because we can't have this nonsense happening. That song was so bad that all of the bands got together and said, nope, not again, except Small Axe, obviously. including, and I want to stress this hard enough, Rascally, when he met the rhythm band, come out and he say no. He said, no, criteria need to change. Not this year again. Not again. So, which you nonsense that you think, this person likes to be on the correct side of history. That is the one thing I've noticed with them. They like to try to be on the correct side of history, which tends to align with whatever the Carnival Committee is doing this year. They try to align themselves with it. They like to wait and position themselves, and they tend to agree with what's going on. And all I have to say is, no. No. Your opinion is very misguided. Do some history lessons, please. Please. Okay, that's gonna do it for this video. I know this section went a lot longer than I wanted it to, but I just had to have this one section where I just had to, go off on a lot of the stupid shit that I was seeing. Congratulations, mention. It took 20 years. You were supposed to, not even you. Ketty was supposed to end a higher streak. Unfortunately, things happen in that era. That era, they kind of mess up everything. But one final note I'm going to say, actually, y'all, we can't call this shit road match. We need a real road match criteria, and we need to stop accepting mediocrity. Okay? I'm tired of it. And I ain't the only one that's tired of it. I know lots of people tired of this shit, so yeah. With that being said, if you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe. And the next one, it's a positive video. I have one more in between me other constructive criticism video. This one has me excited. I'll see y'all then. Bye. Peace. I gone.